Hello, this is for STIW2044 mobile programming. Today I would like to share with you how I do it for the lab assignment 3. So lab assignment 3 is about SQLite database, where you need to be able to add 3 data and 1 image to your application. Alright, so this is the application that I developed. So as you can see, there are 3 sections here. The input part, where I have my input name, metric and course, and also over here, this blue section, this blue box here, this is for image view. The processing buttons, the operational buttons is right in the middle, and at the bottom, as you can see here, this is where I use my custom Listview and show the content of the database, and such as name, metric and course with picture. Alright, so to use this application, so basically if I would like to create a new entry to the database, I just enter, for example, Chong metric number, and also course be odd. So add to database, sorry, a little bit long. Add, no picture taken, click on the blue box to take picture, so you can take picture from here. So it uses camera to take picture, so take a nice picture. Quite nice. Alright, there you go, and you can add to database entry. Now you can see that the new entry now in the custom list view, so I can just click on this custom list view, and then you can have the output back up here. Right, so this is basically how the lab 3 should look like. So if you like to delete, you can delete. If you like to update, for example, here, let's see, honeys, update. Now you can see that the content of the custom list view has been updated with new names, and then you can delete, of course. New, basically just clearing the input section. Search, if you like to search for data, so for example, let's just search 55665. Press OK, data found, and there you go, the data is in the list view. Right, so if you like to show back all, you just go back, press search, and then you can search all. So this is basically how the application should look like. Alright, from the programming part, so here this is the program. So there's only one file for the class that handle the main activity, and there are a number of files that handle for the output. So the output of the application is based on linear layout vertical. So this is basically my favorite layout. It is being laid out as the following: linear layouts, image view here, and there's a input inside linear layout verticals, and for the buttons in horizontal structure, and finally for the list view down here, and those are for the activity main. For the custom list view, so I use custom list as my custom list view. So you can see here, this is the image view, name, this is the text view, and this is the custom content for my list view. For from layout, this is where I use my search option. Okay? If I search something, I click on search button, and it's going to pop up this prompt layout. Alright, from the programming side, basically it's quite simple. Inside my onCreate method, you can see here this is all the declaration for the object that I've used. For the picture, for the camera, so I use intent take picture using the action image capture. For this to work, you need to enable in your manifest. You need to uses features, okay, android.hardware.camera, and also you need to enable some other permission. You need to uses permission for write external and read external storage, because we need to store data into the storage, into the phone storage. Alright, so intent take picture, start activity for result, request image. Here, this is where I implemented the list view on item click listener, and there's a string replace method that I use to extract the information that I need, such as metric, name, and courses, because when you click on your custom list view, you're going to end up with a bunch of unnecessary string. So you need to do some removal there, and before you can use the text. So I put everything in array, and you can access from there. I use the array list, so all defined in the class. For the activity result, this one, an override method, when you done with the camera action, it will basically store in, it will be displayed on your image view. So you need to enable, you need to set the image and then set it to image view, and enable the drawing cache, because later we're going to store the cache image of the image view into our local storage. Alright, so the way that I created the way that I store the image into database is basically not through blob entry, because I'm afraid that blob entry outgrown the database, because there's a certain limit to store a blob data into SQLite. So I didn't do that. The way that I store an image is basically I store into the application directory and put it into use the metric number as the key to store the image. Alright, this is the create database instructions. So create table if not exist, table name student, and 3 variables inside here: varchar for name, varchar for course, and varchar also for metric. But I set it to primary key for the metric, so that if any entry of the database duplicated, it basically will forbid any entry to database. This is insert data. This is a view method, so easily accessible from the layout. Okay, so through input, and then also I make sure that user take picture. So get drawable, no picture taken if you didn't take any picture. And once all completed, then you can perform the insert statement. And also here I do have 3 methods that describe about the first thing is that save the image. So once the data has been inserted into database, into table student, and I need to save the image of the image view. Okay, so save image. So as you can see here, this is the method save image. So the method save image way down here. So this method basically get the image from image view, using the following instructions. So this is bitmap image, and it get the image from image view right here. This is the image view, get drawable, and then check if the directory the application directory. I didn't use any local directory, so this is the application directory itself. So whenever you write the data, it will basically store in the application directory with folder basic. Inside this folder basic, it's going basically to create all this file called metric number with .jpg, and the bitmap compressed at 100%, so which means no compression at all. So if you like to reduce the image size, you can further reduce the compression, let's say 50%, if you like to have less quality but faster processing. This method basically just to get image location. So because there's later I'm going to show that load image also. All right. So from there, insert image. So once you successfully save the image, load all lists. So this is where we load all the lists into the database into our custom list view. Alright, so select all from student. So here also you can further control your SQL. So but for this example, I basically load everything from table student. But of course, if your database is quite big, so you need to control the number of content. So let's say you like to display only 10 or 20 into your custom list view. So you need to limit that, and you need to put some constraint. Alright, so clear list and then get the data into database. If the data exists, means that if the search, if there's any item in entry into database, and then perform the following operation. Okay, get count and then get metric, name and cost, put it into hash map, and then store into list array, and loop until all the data has been stored into student list array. And finally populate list adapter that basically call the custom list here and here together with the image. Okay, so as you can see, there's a one method here, image location, because the hash map here can only store string, so you need to get string location of the image. So it basically store the location image. So image log, so coming back to the method, so image log basically will get the directory of the image and the image name, and then it will return the path of the image back to the load all list. So it will basically return location of the image in string and then store in image. So here you can see image name metric cost, and then image view 2 text name metric number. So this is correspondent to the custom list here. So you can see here image view 2, and this is text name, text metric, and finally text cost. Alright, so those are the way that we populate our custom list view using this array object list. Alright, so done on that, load list. For the rest of the method, for example, if you like to delete operation, so here I search the metric first, the delete method, and then if there's a metric number correspond to the delete operation, and then I delete the metrics. Okay, so either you want to perform, for example, like on long click, so if you like to delete that, and then you can use also the dialog box to perform delete or not. So that is also another way of doing it. Okay, so the query here, delete from student where metric equal metric number that user enter or selected from the custom list view, and then delete image. Of course, you need to delete the image from the storage. You want to store the image because later if you like to add the same image again, then you need to delete the image from the application directory. And again, refresh the list and then clear the input section. Right, so if there's any error, so just refresh back the list, and also if the metric not found, just refresh the list and list everything. Alright, so those are for delete data. For update data, also the same operation you can see here. So search if this metric exists or not, and then update. The update statement here. So update use metric number, and then db1.execute. Update successful. Delete image. Okay, I need to update if the image has been updated. So delete the image first, and then update the image back. Save image, and then load list again. Alright. For search data, so because the method here depend on metric, so it uses metric number and search for that particular metric. If the metric is not there, data not found, refresh the list. If the metric is there, so just move to the first entry, because we want to get only the first data. We don't want to use, because this is just a very specific search, not something like very general search, such as name. You like to search for name. This is based on metric, so it's very exact entry. So again, use the order HMap, student list, and then refresh the list adapter and update the Listview student with the new adapter. Right, save image, image location, load image, delete image, clear. So this is method for clearing the screen input. Prompt metric, this is for search. Okay, so for search, again, this is a view method. You just call from the search button, and then this is the inflator, the layout inflator that inflate prompt layout that I described here. And then there's an alert builder, and this alert builder basically will accept input data from user. So user input data, this is the metric number that user input into the custom list, into the prompt layout, and then it calls search data, search method, and inside the search method, let me see the search method here, it search for the metric number, okay, and then display back to user. Right, if not, cancel. I just refresh back the list, and if user press cancel button. Right, so this is basically quite comprehensive, but of course it uses it didn't use fully object-oriented programming, where we don't have student class, we don't have all those object-oriented things. So this is more on structured programming, where we can just call method here and there. All the methods are public, that we can just call within this class or any other classes that if you need to. Alright, so that is for the lab assignment 3. Okay, so other than that, I don't think that it is. This is for clear all. Take picture, set on item, click listener. Okay, when you click on the item, okay, you can see I need to refresh this again. Okay, so whenever you click on, for example, Terasa May, it will basically, or if you click on new, it basically clear the screen up here. If you click on one item here, or on any item or inside this table, inside this custom list view, you get the content. Forgot to mention one thing. When you click on item here, so this the programming that I use basically is here, load image. Okay, load image, user array, this is the metric number, so load image from the metric number. So the method is down here, load image, metric number, content, and get the application directory, and then get the metric number that point to the metric number.jpg, because I use metric number as the name of the file, and then set the image view and show the image view back to the object, to the layout. So simple as that. So this method basically handle that operation. Alright, so I believe that is it, that it is for lab assignment 3.